Got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been grinding all my life, all my life, grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been grinding all my life.
Welcome to the first episode of Inside the Grind, where I'm going to highlight our Pasifika athletes and share their stories of how they got to where they are now. And what better way to start us off with my first guest? We have a very special guest with us today. He's straight out of Long Beach, played college football at USC, where he was a Rose Bowl champion his junior year, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2017, and is a holder of several NFL records, including being the youngest player ever to reach 2,500 career receiving yards and the first player to have 2 offensive touchdowns of at least 97 yards. He also holds several Steelers franchise records. Off the field, he is known for his social media presence, but even better, he is known for giving back to the community and to those who are in need. I'd love to introduce Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. And especially to be the first one on the show.
Yeah, no, like I said, it truly means a lot. And thank you so much for being here today. And I definitely want to give a shout out to your mom for making this happen. It truly means a lot. But how are you doing? What are you up to right now?
I'm doing great. As of right now, it's all season. I'm going into my my 4th year, which is my contract year. So I have the possibility of playing for a different team instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But just working out, training, just waiting to see what's next for my chapter in my life.
Well, that's awesome. And how does it feel being back home now with your family?
Oh, it feels amazing. One thing first, the weather is amazing. Back home, back in Pittsburgh, it was snowing. And just to be back home with family, friends, and just to be around, good vibes is always a good time.
No, that's awesome. I mean, are you a big fan of Samoan food? I'm sure there's some, the food's different out here when you come home.
Yeah, so I'm big on Spam. Obviously, we eat rice with everything. Fried ipikaki is my favorite, where I usually go to. And pretty much I can only intake so much just because, I still have a career and I got to maintain the weight. And I don't want to get too heavy where I can't, play the position I want to play.
No, definitely. No. Now I just want to dive in a little bit and talk about growing up and how football came about in your life. And, when did football start for you? So
honestly, it probably started around when I was 4 years old. A time where, just running around the house playing with a toy football. And my dad was like, no, I'm going to put you in football. And that kind of took off. I also played a little bit of rugby for 6 years. So I did that. And obviously with school and everything and deciding to go to college, football was probably the best option. And from there, it just took off. And I didn't really take it seriously until I got my first offer to go to San Jose State. And then USC came in, and after that, everything just kept, stacking on top of each other. And I was just like, wow, this may be my career. So now I take it, very seriously and just having, the most fun out of it.
That's awesome. And I know you were at first, weren't you going to go to Oregon, but then you switched right away to come to SC. What made you make that change?
Oh, man, honestly, if you know the Polynesian culture in the background, family is very huge. And going to your own church, I'm a huge Christian, and, being able to go to my own church on Sundays, being able to play on Saturdays and not be too far from home, which is nice, It's also good and bad, being home because, everyone's at the game, everyone's supporting. But decided to stay home mainly, for my mom and dad and my siblings.
No, that's so awesome to hear. I mean, you had a great and successful year at USC, so that was an awesome decision. But now diving into the process of how you got to where you are now with the Steelers and your successful career that you've have so far. So just getting drafted in 2017, and of course celebrating that moment. When you first got drafted, what was your thought process? What was your mentality? Once you heard your name.
My mentality was just more so that I literally just want to get drafted to a team where I'll have an opportunity to showcase myself and give it my all, my best. So it didn't matter where or when I got drafted. It was the call that, waiting for that phone call for them to call my name. And it's so crazy though, there's so many Polynesians who are big, Steeler fans. And when I got that phone call, I answered the phone, it said 412, and I was like, oh damn, where's that at? I don't know. And obviously it wasn't home. So then I answered it. All you hear is Coach Tom on the phone say, hey, are you healthy? Are you good? Where are you at? And I was like, oh, I'm healthy. I'm in Newport right now with my family. There's like, all right, we're gonna call you. You're gonna be, Pittsburgh Steelers. And ever since then, like my life changed because one, um, everyone in my family, like from my mom and dad, like we didn't have the most successful, in our family. So I was kind of like the one to pave the way, for my siblings and my cousins and everyone else around me. And it's just cool that, I'm able to be a role model for those young ones, the Polynesians, and even people my age, it's really cool just to inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean, I can say just watching you, like you've done an amazing job in terms of just using your platform to inspire, and I just want to, thank you for that. So can you just describe what a day looks like for you, like a typical, day during season, a typical regular training day looks like for you?
Yeah, so for me, it's just pretty funny. So I wake up around like 7:30. Okay, are we talking about like COVID or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go pre-COVID. Let's go. Sorry, great question. Let's go pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, yeah.
Pre-COVID, wake up. We usually have meetings at 8:30, so I get up at like 7:30. Take Bougie out, making sure he's good, eats everything. Then I leave. We have meetings. Team meeting at 8:30, special team meeting at 9:30, and then we have position meetings at 10. And then from there, we go to practice, and you can live in between times. And then we have walkthrough at 11 o'clock, 11:10. And then we have an actual practice at like 12:10. And then we're done around like 2:33, the latest. And then we'll have, our meetings in person. And after that, I go home around, I'm like home at like 4 or 5. And like me, I don't have no kids. Like all my teammates have kids or older, so I can't really hang out with them unless I like plan ahead. But for the most part, it's just me like at home playing a video game, chilling with myself, taking Bougie out, and then it's pretty chill. Call my family, and then with COVID, all of that, but everything virtual, like no in-person meetings, like miss COVID tests, like you have to get COVID tests every day. If you miss a COVID test, you can get fined $50K. Like these are like crazy. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, so like like talking about COVID now, how have you been able to adapt to like now it's COVID and was it hard to adapt at first and like I don't know, like because I know you couldn't come home. I'm assuming you had to be out there for a long period of time.
It was one of the toughest things that I've dealt with, just because I don't get to see my family. And, in the Polynesian culture, like family's everything. And like usually my mom comes out like once every other week, or I get to see my siblings, and I just couldn't see them. Like as soon as I left, like in June, like I came back in like January, and it's just like the whole time it's like, damn, like there's no fans at the game, like there's no support, there's barely anyone around, like everything's like all you see is your teammates every day, everything's virtual. So it's like you don't get that in person like feel until we like actual practice, and then once you practice and you go back and like now we're virtual. So it was a lot different, but you got to get used to it.
Definitely. And so like, what I want this to be about, like the show is just talking about the process, talking how like the grind and how you got to where you are now. And how do you feel? Because, you're just so, you're just so successful with where you're at now. And like, how do you feel your process sets you apart from others in the league?
I think the biggest thing with me is my branding. I take that very seriously. One thing about me is that like you can tell who I am with the helmet on or off, because it's hard to brand yourself. And I think me doing the TikTok dances, me dancing, me showing my personality, having a YouTube channel, having a gaming team, like there's so many things about me that like I'm putting myself here, so like they know that I'm more than just a football player. And it's just the love that I have, but just showing my personality. And some of the things that I've done that, I've learned like for you to grind, you have to make so many sacrifices.
Yeah.
And like I tell kids all the time, like sacrifices is probably one of the biggest things you're gonna have to learn. Yes, you'll learn discipline. Yes, you learn time management, because as an athlete, we all know time management. Like we do that, you know. Yes, we procrastinate, but we know time management.
Yeah.
We live our life hour by hour. But the biggest thing I had to do was like sacrifice, you know. I had to sacrifice, you know, not going out with friends and staying up late or doing this, playing video games. Like, you know, you have to go to sleep early to get the workout in, to grind, to be great. And even now, like, you know, even at 24, like, you know, you keep learning, you know, you sacrifice it, you know, having fun like later, because when you work now, like all that should come back like 10 times better. So and that's one of the things that I always tell people, man, like sacrifice is probably one of the biggest things you have to like learn how to do.
Yeah. And I mean, being a former athlete as well, I totally understand in terms of the sacrifice that you have to make, you know, to be great. And, you know, but like in the long run, it comes back. But, you know, going back to your first, like your first NFL game that you played, how did that feel? You know, can you paint a picture of just how that felt for you?
Oh, it was great. So we're playing against the Minnesota Vikings, and like, this is like the actual first game I actually like get my feet wet. Like I'm actually playing. Like I have like plays made for me, and I scored a touchdown like on a 1 yard line. You know, with the little like shovel pass.
Yeah.
And I made a huge block. I made a huge couple catches like here and there, but it was just like it was like crazy. But the thing about athletes and sports in our generation is that like once you start playing football at like 4 years old, it's the same as playing in middle school, high school, and college. It's just the stadium, there's more people. It's the atmosphere is a lot bigger and louder. But for me, it was just like football is football at the end of the day. But in the NFL, like people are smarter, people are faster. But you know, you grow as you go up. So it was a really, really cool, fun experience, and I love every moment of it. And every time I step in the stadium, like I still get the butterflies and chills, because it's like it's just the I would say the grit in me. I'm like, man, I can't wait to just dominate when I go on the field.
No, definitely. And no, that's so awesome. So like, was there a time in your career, like on or off the field, like where you hit adversity, like a challenge, like hit you, and it was just like a tough moment in your career?
Um, I mean, I was thinking in college, like I had broke this thumb right here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh my
And
God.
it was a sacrifice of me being able to play the rest of the season, and it was something I was like, man, this is I can take pain, but it was pretty much thriving. So I wrapped it up in a soft cast, played the whole season. Then, like the following year, I break this hand in college. I did not miss Halloween. This is like we're playing against Cal Berkeley, and this is on Halloween. I go to Halloween, I celebrate. I have a broken bone right here going down, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait. You know, I'll have surgery on Monday. I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna play the next game. And I played the next game. I was able to have surgery Monday. I wrapped up in a cast and played the whole season with it. And that was tough. And in the NFL, I think the biggest thing with me is that I've had to deal with 4 different coaches.
Yeah.
I had to deal with, you know, injuries, like long-term injuries, like with my knee, with my shoulder. And the thing about the NFL, when you get to a pro, you know, professional team like that, you know, there's always another Juju. There's always another, you know, Fina in your category and sport, because, you know, these kids are, you know, we draft every year. So you got to learn how to maintain, stay healthy, because the more you produce, the more you stay. If not, they're bringing another Juju in, they're bringing another thing in, they're bringing another player who's just like you but younger, and who can, you know, do all that plus more. So, and that's one thing I've had to learn, is that like once I take my spot, I gotta like keep grinding, and never take my feet off the gas.
Definitely. And I like, what is, when you get like hit with adversity or a challenge comes, what is your thought process that happens that you go through?
Oh, first thing I do is look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You look at yourself in the mirror, and you ask yourself, like, what do you want? How do you want to achieve this? is this something that you really want? Are you willing to sacrifice, the time, the effort, the countless hours and minutes, and being great? There's a lot of people out there say, "Oh, let's be great, let's do this, let's do that." But at the end of the day, like, is this something that you really love, and like, would you die for it?
Yeah.
And that's something I did when I did face adversity. I spoke to myself, and from there, I go out there, and if I do need help, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I've
Mm-hmm.
spoke to my coach about it too. People who's been through it, obviously they know just based off experience, and that's something I've had to deal with. And it was tough. But at the end of the day, like, one thing I tell everybody is that time do not stop for nobody. Like, you
Yeah.
can't pause your life and just, all right, wait, let me think about it. No, like, time is constantly going. So a lot of times, just ask yourself the question, like, is this what you really want, or what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. I mean, what I love about that is that it's self-reflection, like, it's because sometimes, when people get hit with adversity, like they like to, they like to play the victim. They be like, why is this happening to me? Like, why me? And I'm just so happy because, I mean, you hit it on the head. It's just so important to self-reflect and really think, like, is this what you want to do? Because it's all up to you. It's all, it's all in your hands. And, so what is your message to people that want to be successful, or that in their life, or want to be where you're at? What is your message to them? What do you want to tell them?
My biggest message that I live by this is, my number one rule in life is to always have fun. Do something that you love to do. Do something that you love to wake up every morning, and and you just love to do it. I love waking up every morning, working out, grinding, playing football, and that right there. When you play whatever in your sport, whether that may be, whether it's sports, music, or dancing, it doesn't have to be sports. If you love doing what you're doing, it makes life so much easier. I wasn't the best in school, but I always tell myself, like, man, what? If I'm going to do it, I'm here now. I might as well make the best out of it. Make people laugh. Do my work, and have fun doing it. And to the message for all the polys out there is that I
Mm-hmm.
embrace my culture. Embrace it. Your last name, you represent your culture, your background, your last name, your family. I mean, people will look at me; they don't think I'm Polynesian until until you start talking, and they ask me, okay, he's Poly. And it's really cool. And if I can go in the alley with anybody, I'm going in with Polynesians.
Yeah. No, definitely.
No matter who you are, they're like family. So all the kids out there, like I said, just have fun what you're doing, and you can be successful in anything.
Yeah. And so, just being someone, like, what is that, and being in the NFL, what does that mean to you?
Oh man, it means so much. I think one of the coolest things, that because I played for the Steelers, Troy Pomalu was like,
Oh, yeah.
he showed his hard grit ways, and he's such a dominant player, and it just shows that it's his culture. And I say I have that in me too.
Mm-hmm.
When people look at me like, oh, he's full black, and I was like, nah, I'm Apagasi, half black, half Samoan, and then I can show that, like, I love to get down and dirty. I'm all about the dirty work, and I love having fun. Um,
Yeah.
it's really cool, man. When you in the NFL, like, when you see other polys, it's just a sign of respect.
No, and that's awesome. And that picture that went viral where you're wearing your Ia Vaikanga, like, it was, the White Sunday. How did that come about? And I just, like, honestly, when I saw it, I was like, yo, that is so awesome. Like, that is, like, so awesome. It was just, it was just so powerful. Please tell us, like, how did that come about?
Yeah, it was a very powerful moment. Every year, me and my ideas team, we sit down. We always talk about, like, holidays and stuff like that. We always do, like, main holidays, like, for the United States, like, Christmas, Valentine's, like, stuff like that, like Halloween. And then we dive into, the Samoan culture, then we get White Sunday, and that was, like, the biggest one for me, because it's like, I want to show my culture, I want to show my background. I even did, like, tribal, like, cleats, to match it and stuff like that, because it means so much, like, now I reach an audience to show people, I'm not afraid to embrace my culture,
Mhm.
and everyone on my team was like, yo, what are you wearing now? It's like, just wait until I post it later. Like, you'll and honestly, like, the reaction I got from that, like, people show so much love, and there was like, oh, that's so awesome, you know, because even on Sundays, you know, when we play, you know, I'm still honoring the White Sunday, and you know, I didn't get to say my verse, but you know,
Yeah.
I was just embracing and having fun. So yeah, just shout out to Adidas for making that happen, and just getting the job done.
No, that's awesome. Being like Afakasi as well, and to have someone there, I want to say thank you for doing that. At the end of this, and at the end of your career, what do you want to be remembered as? Like, what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh man, my legacy honestly is just the person just giving back. I can give 10 times than I like receiving. You know, I think it's what it's about, man. When I was a kid, I looked up to guys like Reggie Bush, Pete Carroll, and then like I was like, man, I want to go to USC. I did that. Looked up to guys like Maulu and Heinz Ward, and I went to the Steelers, and I did that. And now that I have the power, you know, to be a role model and to show people that you know it's all about just giving back and just helping, you know, the young kids and even people overseas and stuff like that. So, and just having fun while I'm doing it.
No.
I want them to know that like he's a giving person and he's always having fun.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. No, thank you. But we're in the home stretch, and the first thing that comes to mind, I'd love to do some rapid fire questions. So the first thing that comes to mind, in your head. Okay. So first, your favorite moment that you've had so far while playing.
Oh damn, playing in the NFL, probably my 297-yard touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right. No.
It's crazy, but something like.
No, I'm just kidding. Second, the best thing about quarantine 2020.
Oh, video games every day. Fortnite, Call of Duty, all that.
Can we just touch on that? So like video games, like let's talk about video games for a little bit. So you love, tell us just about your relationship with video games.
I always had a passion for video games. Like my birthday is November 22nd. The new Call of Duty drops every year around like November 5th and 6th. Like that's all I ever wanted. When I was a kid, I would, carry my TV and my video game system to my grandma's house, which is like a couple blocks away because they had Wi-Fi and we didn't. So just so I can play online with my friends, and I would do that every day and every night. And then I got to the point where, I moved into my own house, pay my own bills, I got my set up and just game. And I think about quarantine is like, although you're far away from your friends, you can't see them, video games is the best way to connect with people and stuff like that. So I've built so many friends in the video game community. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so funny. I just thought about your video games because it was just so funny. What do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite game? Do you have a favorite game?
Oh, right now it's between Warzone and Fortnite.
Fortnite. Okay. Cool. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with video games, but okay. Back to our questions. So the third one. Top 3 favorite artists.
Juice WRLD, Travis Scott, and I think Brent Faiyaz.
Which, I'm sorry, who?
So Juice WRLD, Travis Scott, and Brent Faiyaz.
Right. Oh, Brent Faiyaz. Got it. Okay. Well, the fourth one, right? Do you have a favorite song that's on replay? Do you have a song that's on replay right now?
Favorite song right now that's on replay?
Mm-hmm.
You honestly want to know? It's Drinking and Smoking by Future and Lil Uzi.
Hey, it's okay. This is a no judge zone. Hey, you know what? Whatever you get turned up to, so it's okay.
Good vibe. It's really good vibe.
It's good vibe. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and then let's go. This is the last one. Your favorite football player growing up?
Oh, Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush. Okay.
Yes.
Why Reggie Bush?
We didn't have an NFL team when I was growing up, so USC was like the team to go to, and Reggie Bush was that dude.
No, okay. Oh yeah, he's good. No, that's good. Because I thought you were gonna say Troy Polamalu, but it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, no, I love Troy. Have you ever met Troy before?
I'm sorry?
You met Troy before?
No, like I saw him at he was like, I saw him from a distance, but no, I haven't.
you to meet Troy, he's very like soft spoken, very quiet. Like dude, he's total opposite how he is on the field. It's crazy.
Really? Well, I mean, I've seen like videos like he talks very soft. No, but that's so awesome. Well, Juju, I just want to thank you so much for joining me on my show. And more importantly, just thank you for using the platform that you have, to inspire and just to give back. And I hope your story will inspire and just give hope to anyone listening to this and show them that they can achieve anything they set their mind to by putting in the work and committing and dedicating themselves to become the best that they can be. And also just trusting the process. Thank you all for tuning into Inside the Grind. And Juju, again, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me too.
Of course.
Grinding on my life, sacrifice, hustle pay the price, one slice, got the brother dice, all my life, grinding on my life.